Hi, everybody. Long time no see. It's been a minute. I know. I get it. I understand. I said that I was going to be doing weekly DJ sets for music and moods, but okay. So music and moods, right? Remember, there's the mood part. So basically, where have I been? This is just a little catch up of like where I've been, what I've been up to. I've been up to a lot. I've been doing a lot. I've also been just really focusing on myself. So I don't even know how to start this video besides like, hey, I'm mekalolita. I'm the founder of Music and Moods, and I'm a DJ, also producer. And I started doing Music and Moods. One of my videos had got a little poppin'. 40K views on a video is phenomenal, especially because I've only really I only had got serious about my YouTube journey for like a couple of months, like 2 months, and I freaked out. I got very overwhelmed for a lot of reasons. One of the reasons being is that I'm just getting straight into it. One of the reasons being is that I noticed that there were a lot of men in the comments and making comments about my body and things like that. And then when I looked at the thumbnail for the video, I was like, "Oh, they're here because of that ass." Like, I mean, yeah, I'm talented and everything, but I didn't necessarily realize like, "Oh, I do have this shape and I do look like this, and that is going to attract men." Now, I have always had an issue with being perceived by men because it's almost always uncomfortable. Like, as a woman, you're almost always left feeling very uncomfortable after receiving any type of like male validation or anything like that. Um, Although I do things really kind of like for me, like I like to look good for me and my man. Well, he gets to benefit from it, but I like to look good for me, myself, and just being out in the world and feeling good when I'm out in the world because I look good. And so, yeah, that had kind of like overwhelmed me. And I was only noticing that it was just so many men. Shout out to my ladies because I'm pretty sure there was a lot of ladies in the comments too. It was, but it freaked me out and it made me scared of like just being seen and getting all of that attention. Um, I'm a girl that developed really early in life as far as like body wise. And it seemed like the moment that I started to develop in my body, like the way the world treated me was so different. Even from grown men making sexual advances at me to little boys in my classroom touching me without my permission and me having to beat they ass. I'm gonna try not to curse, but oh no, what do you mean I'm trying not to curse? I curse. Fuck that. So, anyways, I it freaked me out, and so not to mention doing those weekly DJ sets is was really draining. Like I was putting out a lot of energy, editing them, making the social media clips for them, posting them, scheduling them. It was just a lot to deal with, and I'm only doing this by myself. And so I got drained. And also, this year in of itself has been like such a transformative year for me. Like, I've been set, God has forced me to sit down and deal with some stuff. So I've been just dealing with facing myself and dealing with my shit. And every spiritually, physically, mentally, financially, like just dealing and looking at like this is your life. And if there's things you don't like about it, let's look inside and see what it is. Poo. And so that's basically what this whole year has been. So I was already doing a lot of like heavy lifting when it comes to my mental health. Um, but it got more fragile. I just kind of got more vulnerable. And yeah, since my last set for Music and Moods, I got an amazing opportunity with FYI. So if you guys don't know anything about FYI, please go download the app. It's FYI.ai. I am now a part of their team, and I'm really excited and I feel really blessed, but also it's such a it was all such a mind fuck that I got such a great opportunity to work on the music side of this amazing AI startup. Being that I love all things music and I love all things AI. So it was just a lot for me to deal with. I didn't understand. My brain was having a hard time understanding that like you just went through years of some really hard transitional things, moving out to California, becoming a DJ, having to deal with houselessness, being just overwhelmed, burnt out, sexual assault, just things like that. Like I had just dealt with friendship betrayal, family stuff. My Saturn return, baby, it was my Saturn return. I was fighting for my fucking life, and it was really, really hard. And it was hard for a long time, and it felt like it was only hard for a really long time. So then, for out of nowhere, such an amazing opportunity and blessing to come that is quite literally like life changing, where I'm working with people who are powerful, people in the music industry, not only powerful but talented, and very much like light years ahead of me as far as like experience goes. Like I walk in rooms now and I feel like I am the least experienced. I feel like I'm the baby. I feel like why am I here? How am I here? How do I add value? So all these things going on, and I kind of just had a mental breakdown. No one talks about how when you start to go through good things in life, you start to get the blessings and the things that you actually have been wanting, how that can also trigger anxiety, how it can trigger an episode of depression, this, that, and the third. So my mental health plummeted. Okay, I was starting to have panic attacks every day. I was getting to a point where I could not leave the house. Not only did I not want to, but I couldn't. It felt like and still in this moment, I'm getting better, but I'm still taking baby steps. I'm taking it day by day basically. And so things got really, really bad after my birthday, and the month of September was just the most anxious filled month for me. Like it was really, really tough. So I had to put a pause on everything because it was just like I paused the YouTube channel for a minute. I was trying to catch my bearings with this new position and this new role. I'm also teaching myself how to produce. Um, I've been in an isolation space and I had to cancel some gigs. Like it was just like a lot going on mentally. And I remember crying one night, like, how come it feels like things are going right, yet I feel so fucking sad. Like I feel so sad. I feel so broken, and it was almost like whiplash. Like it was like, yeah, because you kind of just went through so much and you never got an opportunity to process it and like work through it. Even though I've been in therapy, and that was the thing too. It's like I'm in therapy, I'm working out, I'm eating good. Like what is wrong? Why am I having panic attacks? I have this great opportunity. I'm able to like make some money and do things. So it's like, what's wrong? What's the issue? And it was just internal. I didn't realize how burnt out I was, and I just kept trying to push it beyond my limit. And I was already like, let me tell you something. I've always been a person that's been really hard on myself. So once I get to a point of burnout, I've already overextended myself to like the 10th power. So it all caught up to me, and I was just like, okay, so let me call a psychiatrist. Because I was like, oh no, I'm a very like holistic type of girl, but I'm also like living in a modern world. And yeah, no, so let's get back on this medicine. So I'm currently back on meds, antidepressants, and if y'all would like for me to talk more about that, I will. I have no issue with talking about things when it comes to mental health and mental wellness, because I'm a huge advocate for it, and I know that like I'm not the only person going through it, and I'm just here to help, break the stigmas about things. And if you need to take meds, you need to take meds. Like, and I don't know if I'm going to have to be on these meds forever. This is my first time on medication. I know this is a new medication, and it was very hard for me. starting this medication. A lot of times when you're starting an antidepressant, in particular SSRIs, they make your symptoms worse before, way worse, way worse before it gets better. So, once I kind of noticed that all these things were going on with me mentally, and also I was starting to feel them physically, like I just had tightness in my chest every day. A lot of my anxiety symptoms are very physical. So, yes, my mind will start racing, but then I'll start to feel all the tension in my body, and it's like I can't. So, starting on September 27th, which was the first day I started back taking my meds, I said, you know what? I quit. I surrender. I'm stopping everything. Like, I went into my bare minimum era. Like, I am doing the bare minimum to get by through life. And even in my bare minimum, I was still going to the gym. I was still working. Thankfully, I'm in a position where not too much is expected out of me. So it just kind of felt like the perfect time. Like, I don't, like, it was the first time I was able to have a mental breakdown and not worry about having a roof over my head and not having to worry about money. I've never been in a situation to where I could lose my mind and all my needs still be met. Usually I lose my mind and then I end up losing my apartment, my car, friends, my lot. Like, I just end up losing it. I just lose it all. Like, I've had several tower moments throughout my life dealing with um just lack of resources. Call a thing a thing, but I noticed this was the first time in my life, thank you God, where I had all my needs met and I was able to just fall. And I'm gonna go lay down, you guys. I'm gonna go lay down. And it was sad, beautiful. During my time, I did. So when me and my therapist were working on this, like, me making sure that I'm pouring into my mental, my physical, my spiritual, like, every day. And so with that being said, like, on the physical side, of course, like being in the gym, working out, okay, go for a walk or just being more active again. Cause I used to be a big gym girly and then I stopped. The girl has gotten a little thick again and I personally like body T, but I don't like to be thick. Like, I feel heavy and I don't like feeling heavy. So just trying to get my muscle mass and my body fat percentages in a place that I like. And so there's that. Then spiritually, I found myself, just really surrendering to God and what God was trying to do in my life at that time, which was give me a I want to say what's coming up is another chance. Like, give me another chance to surrender, give me another chance to cry, give me another chance to let it all out, to process things, to really like pour into myself. And so I'm just so grateful to God in that moment. um the thing that was really interesting with the spiritual side, and I hate that I to even express this because there's just so much stigma. Like, fucking, I'm saying Christians are mean as shit. And if you are doing, saying, or living anything outside of what Christians feel like is how you supposed to live your life, they are casting spells on you. Because let's call a thing a thing. They're casting spells on you by calling you things like demonic, saying that you're a witch or things like that. And it breaks my heart and breaks my spirit because as I had was going through my journey of like diving deeper into the Bible all this year, but especially particularly around this time, especially with the book I read John, the book of I read John and I read Galatians. And I was listening to a lot of Sarah Jakes Roberts and Dr. Thudman, I want to say is his name. I forget his first name, but he was with Potterhouse. Now he, I think, is at Transformation Church. Anyways, so reading the Bible and coming to terms with everything that I do not align and agree with when it comes to Christianity is literally in the Bible. And it just kind of blew my mind as far as like, okay, so it made me feel good in my heart and in my soul. Like, okay, I am living my life right. It might not be what this person think it should be or that person and da 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 da, but I'm getting a close connection with God. I'm seeing it for myself, and I don't want to live a life where I'm being judgy or hateful or things like homophobic, transphobic. I don't do none of that bigotry stuff. I don't tolerate it. I don't do none of that. Nah, dot. I don't fuck with it. I really, really don't. I hate it because I'm just a loving person. I love my neighbor, and I think Jesus is a great example of how you're supposed to treat other people, and that's what I like to follow. I haven't been able to fully just call myself a Christian again because, of course, I grew up that way in a sense. Like I went to church, but it wasn't like strict, like you got to go every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Like, thank God. But um, in 2016, I was just kind of like, I don't want to be associated with this, but I still want to have the relationship with God. I still like, yes, Jesus, I want to get to know you, but also I'm gonna talk to my deceased grandmother. Like, it's gonna happen. And she's coming with me everywhere I go. In fact, I don't really got a choice in this. She was protective as hell. She's still around. So sorry. So, um, I don't know. That's just deal. And so I was having a hard time with that because I was like, oh my God, am I like getting back into like Christianity? And I ain't gonna hold you. I was hating that. I was like, I don't want to be in this environment. I don't want to be in these environments. I don't want to feel as anxious as it used to make me feel. All the It's so strict, it's so callous, it feels cold, it doesn't feel loving, it's so judgmental. I don't want to do it. And so I've, of course, just what I've come to realize is I've just been on a really huge deconstructing journey when it comes to like religion and my belief in God and just spirituality as a whole. And I say all to say that was like just a huge part of the spiritual aspect of the physical, spiritual, and mental. Mentally, I've been having to and and before I go into the mental, when it comes to spiritual, it is well with my soul. And I'll just leave it at that. Um I am coming to a place where I am trusting myself that my beliefs are my beliefs and they're my beliefs for a reason, and I trust myself. I am trusting that I am making the best decisions for my spirit, for how I want to live my life, and how I want for my future children to also live their life. And not only being a loving human being to myself, but to everybody around me, no matter race, creed, sexuality, nationality, gender, none of that matters. We are all the image of God. Period. Point blank poo. And so yeah, we'll close that up. I don't wish to go further at this time. I used to be really big on like sharing my spirituality, but I can't do it. Y'all ain't finna be sitting up here calling me all kind of names because baby, I cuss back. I cuss back good. And I be returning that energy, return to sender on that ass. Like, please leave me alone. But yeah, when it comes to my mental, I have been more of one, taking my meds and my supplements every day. I have me like those little like old lady pill separators with all the days of the week on it, and I'm making sure that I take my meds every day at the same time. I'm taking my supplements every morning at the same time. I'm taking my meds at the same time every night, and just making sure I'm doing that. Been monitoring my drinking. I've come to terms with the fact that like I'm never going to stop drinking because I love a glass of wine. Speaking of which, I went to the reunion tour with Kirk and the Clark sisters and them and had two, and did shout out to Kev on stage. People was judging him because he had a little drinky drink. Baby, we had a concert. That's what we gonna do. And I was praising the Lord like never before. I had a blast. Me and my man with our wine, clock it. But I can't drink every day because I'm stressed or anxious. Like, I'm gonna have to find better coping mechanisms. And I can't, if I can't drink all day, well, how about I'll just, I ain't gonna have a drink until after 5. I ain't gonna have a drink till after 5. Cause what I'll do is I'll go on these long, like 5 months, a year, 6 months, where I don't drink, and then I'll start back drinking and I'll binge because I missed it so much. I'm not doing it. I'm just gonna have to be disciplined. Hello, you're just gonna have to tell yourself no, girl. Life ain't all pleasure. You gotta tell yourself no. You're gonna have to feel the icky feelings, and you're gonna have to work through it because it's telling you something. So mentally, also just making sure I'm staying on top of my therapy once a week. But the biggest thing, so I told myself that I was gonna give myself from September 27th to November 9th, no social media. I'm in the house. I'm not outside. I'm canceling gigs. I'm pouring into myself. I'm going on my doctor's appointments. I'm getting all my health in order. I'm making sure everything's fine. Make sure nothing's like severely wrong with me. I'm taking care of myself. I'm doing the things. I wanted to make sure that I did not come back during the election or before because this election season was very, very stressful. On the weekend, because God is so good, on the weekend that I ended my sabbatical, is what I called it. The Black Mother Wound podcast by Jennifer Arnice. Let me tell you something. If you have a black mother wound, if you have a absent relationship with your mother, if you've gone no contact with your mom, if it's always been just dysfunctional or anything like that, little background about me. I was abandoned by my mother and my father. I was able to deal with my daddy wound because like he was there a little bit more though. He was around. My mom, absolutely not. Like she was not very there. Like she wasn't there at all. Why? They Hey, and I have nothing against them. Y'all are human beings. It was I grew up thinking it was about me. It had nothing to do with me. So in the podcast, she talks about how we can be so hypercritical, so we abandon ourselves, we're self-judgmental, we lack integrity with ourselves because of the wound we have with our mother. And then she more so talks about the black experience because our experience with our parents is like very, very different from the experience of everyone else's when you add racism and all of that into play. And I'm gonna wrap this up soon, but I just wanted to talk about it because I started listening to this podcast like this is Sunday. I started listening to this podcast last Monday, and I was like, you know what? Forgiving my mom, but I didn't even really take the time for real to just be like, how did this shit affect me? How? I also got a spiritual consultation with one of my good friends, Hey Imani, love you, girl. And she was just like, you tend to self-sabotage. Like you'll do something, it'll be a good thing, and it's almost like you have this fear of success and fear of being seen. And I said, I do. I have both. Remember, I talked about at the beginning of the video, I was starting to be seen more. That scared the fuck out of me. And so I was watching the podcast and just I've been listening to a lot of episodes. And what I came to, and one thing my friend Imani said was, it's something subconscious. It's something subconscious. So when it comes, if you've watched Inside Out, especially the second one, and you'll see how you create your self identity by your beliefs that you have for yourself. Y'all tell me why I didn't realize that I have still been holding on to the belief that I told myself when I was a little girl. And that belief was, if my mama don't love me, if my daddy don't love me, no one will. Peep game. I had love. My grandmother loved me down. My grandma is the one who raised me. That's why I said she gonna be around. We're talking all the time. All the time. And you getting offerings. What? Speaking of which, I need to lay out a little food. Okay, girl, I heard you. But yeah, I'm talking to my granny. That's all I ever had. I'm talking to her. So yeah. But I realized that wow, I used to say that to myself so much when I was a kid. Oh my God. I used to literally think it all the time. I used to say it to myself all the time. If my mama and my daddy, just to grow up, yes, I've grown up and I've healed from the fact that, like, okay, they weren't able to, they didn't have the mental capacity. They're humans. They went through a shit ton of shit before I got here. And I was so mad about that. Why? That's why I'm pro-choice. I was like, Mom, why you ain't getting a girl? Should got damn abortion. Hell, shit. She got an abortion. You couldn't do it, so abort it. But she had me, and here we are. And I didn't want to be here for a long time, but I think now I've come to terms with I'm on Earth, and this is what it is, and we're gonna do what we got. We're gonna play the cards we've been dealt, and we're gonna try to do the best that we can with them. But yeah, I didn't realize. I forgot that this was a belief that I even now in my mind, I see little baby Meek. I see where I was in the living room when I started to have these thoughts, and I didn't realize that I never unpacked it. I never released it. I've been living my life on that belief system. On that belief system. I've been playing it small because of it. I've been hiding, isolating. Um I'll do something, I'll be consistent, I'll quit because I'm scared. I don't want to be seeing, whoa, it's too much. What if I turn into this horrible person? What if I turn into a piece of shit when I get rich? What if I'm not that good girl no more? Because that's being that good girl growing up, making the good grades, being obedient, being respectful. That's what got me ahead. That's what made me survive. That's what gave me some type of self-worth, some type of worth to other people. That's what, because my mom and dad, like I had to make sure I was on my P's and Q's because my mom and dad had to deal with me, but since they didn't, no one else had to. So let me make sure I'm on everybody's good side. That's how I felt. Mind you, though, like I wasn't. My grandma loved me. My grandma wanted me. Like she ain't play that. She ain't play that out. She was, in fact, my grandma was happy to have me. In fact, I was her. I was the light of her life. Like, and she was mine. She still is. She was my angel. She saved my life. So it's like I had all that love and stuff, but it just goes to show you. Like my grandma used to also tell me, there's no love like the love from your mother. And she was like, I'm your grandmother. You my grandbaby. You my first grandbaby. So I love you like I'm loving on you like a grandma does. Like, but that love from your mother, like is nothing like it. And I had to come to terms with, one, I won't experience that in this lifetime. Although God is good, I've had so many mothers, had a lot of mother figures. Shout out to my Bessie, shout out to Miss Green, shout out to all the mothers that watched me growing up, and even now, like, but the fact that my mom, when you are a little kid, you just want to be with your parents. You feel like that's where you belong. Everybody else in school getting picked up from school by their mama or by their daddy. I was getting picked up by my granny, sometimes my uncle, sometimes my aunt. Miko, why your mama? Why your mama? Where your mama? Where your daddy? Oh shit. Yeah, they're not here. And my grandma did a great job of explaining those things to me, but watching the Black Mother Womb podcast, really, it's just like a fucking light bulb went off. And so now my goal for this month, because I've been on this fitness journey. It ain't been working out, but I haven't quit. But I've been on this fitness journey. It ain't been working out. I've been on this DJ journey, music journey, working out, but not exactly how I wanted to. I'm playing it so small. And one thing I was noticing with my fitness journey is like how you do one thing is how you do everything. So I'm like, damn, if I'm not showing up com- completely and fully and being committed and being disciplined and being consistent in this area in my life, I'm probably doing the same in every other area in my life. Oh no, how can we fix this? And so when I came across that podcast, because it was just on my algorithm, I was just like, oh my God, bitch. That's why you so mean to yourself. That's why you beating yourself up. And when have you ever gotten a child to do what you want them to do by beating up on them? No, they become problem kids. They rebel. So it's like I was treating myself and being hard on myself because I thought that's what good self-parenting is. If you and it's not. It's not. I have to reparent myself, and I have to do it with love. But guess what? That don't always feel good. I remember when my grandma started having to discipline me. Because I was very spoiled growing up. I swear I ain't gonna be here before you long. I'm gonna wrap this up. But like I said, I was her first grandbaby, and so she treated me as such. I was the baby. And but it got to a point, I think around 11 to 13 years old, like my preteen years, I remember her sitting down with me. I remember this in her room, her bedroom. She said, Mika, I've been treating you like my grandbaby, but I'm your mom too. Like I have to raise you. And so now I have to discipline you. I'm gonna have to start telling you no. And I was just like, girl, what are you talking about? She was dead ass. She said, I'm gonna have to start telling you no. I have to start disciplining you. I'm gonna have to start like, because I have to make sure that you can make it in this world. And so it did not feel good. I hated it. I hated it. Me and my grandma fought for a few years. For a few years. Them teenage years was rough. And then it got really good once I realized I just need to like take out the chicken when she say. I just need to make sure the house clean before she get home. She ain't really asking for much. Let me just make sure so she can just shut up. That's how when I realized that was all I needed to do. I was just like, okay. And then that's when a little bit after that, she was diagnosed with cancer. I had to take care of her. She died when I was 17 years old. I say all that to say, when you discipline yourself, because that is a very huge component in self care and self love, disciplining yourself, not disciplining yourself, but being disciplined. Sorry. Being disciplined, being consistent, telling yourself you're going to do what you say you're going to do. I would be like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and then don't do it. And it's like, damn, you doing you how your daddy did you. I'm going to get you clothes for school. Nigga, school start tomorrow. Where my clothes at? Or I'm gonna do this for you. I'm gonna do that for you. And then people just would not. People just, people break promises. I was still mad at my daddy after he died for years because he had promised me he was gonna take me to Chuck E. Cheese. Then this nigga died. So nigga, you never taking me to Chuck E. Cheese. Mind you, I was 13 when my daddy died. And it was just a like I wasn't really mad, but it was I was. Fuck that. I was. Nigga, you ain't take me to Chuck E. Cheese like you said you was. So if I'm seeing my parents treat me like that, I'm gonna start treating myself like that. And I wasn't realizing, y'all, that I was doing this to myself. That's why it's so important to do the work, like true healing work, and go on your journeys and stuff. And I would say that's why the fuck I'm back. Now, we're gonna do things a little different. I'm not doing weekly DJ sets. Hell no. That shit exhausting. It's tiring as fuck. But I can promise you a monthly. I can promise you a monthly DJ set. If you want to hear more, go look at the last episodes. Like it and comment and all that shit. But also, I've been called. God has been putting it on my heart and my throat. I've been feeling it in my throat. Talk. I want you to talk. I'm like, well, God, what you want me to talk about? What you want me to talk about? Because I don't want to get on here and start talking about spiritual stuff. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that because I don't got time for the backlash. I don't want to do that. Y'all real strict. I don't got time. I'm free. Clock it. And so I don't want to do that. And then it was just like, okay, what do you want me to talk about? And it's like, I have all these things, all these experiences you've gone through that I've helped you, that I've pulled you through, that I've saved you from. Girl, just talk. Just talk. I gave you a mouth. I gave you a great personality. Girl, just talk. So we talking. This is the Moody Podcast. Period. I'm gonna put some on the back screen next time. I'll make a little thing. So there's gonna be music and moods. We're doing programming. So we got some programming, okay? This is mekalolita. This is my page. So if you like it here, stick around. It's gonna be a great time. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna dance, we're gonna shake that ass, and we also going to cry. We're going to heal, and we're gonna live our best lives. We're gonna get this money. Okay. So I'm here and now, and I'm here to stay. I had to shake it off. And I want y'all to be on this journey with me as I continue to overcome my fear of success, my fear of being seen, and learn and grow in self love and self worth, like true, true, true self love, self worth, not just taking bubble baths and taking myself out to eat. I love spending time to myself. So that ain't nothing to me. I ain't never been nothing to me. But doing some real work internally while also having a good time, because I'm not gonna be just serious and crying all the time. The fuck? Like, if you haven't noticed, I mean, I think in the beginning of the video I was kind of shy, but like, because like I'm just like, oh, like I don't know what I'm talking about. This is not scripted. I'm just going off the cuff. But we here and I'm excited. I have some music that I'm working on. I'm excited for y'all to hear that. And it's gonna be dancey dancey. We're gonna dance. I love dancing. So we're gonna dance, we're gonna shake that ass, okay? But we're also going to heal and grow and love. And I really hope all the people who subscribe to my channel, even the men, okay? I know y'all came for the ass, but come on, you can heal too, King. You too can heal from the mother and daddy wound and be a better person. Also, shout out to Jennifer, our niece. I will put the podcast in the description. It's so good. I swear to God, it's for the ladies. But I sent it to my brother, my big brother. Love, hey Aaron, hey Junior. He love it, and so he been watching it too. And so yeah, black men, whatever, go watch it. But that's what I've been up to. I've been healing. I had to go get myself together, okay, because I got somewhere to go. And I'm praying when I get there, I'm gonna see everyone I know. Okay, I'm gonna stop. But comment, like, subscribe. I am mekalolita, and I love y'all so much. Y'all have a very blessed day and holiday season. I'm gonna see y'all probably like in a week or two for that set. It's gonna be a jammy jam. It's gonna be a good time. Okay, love y'all. Bye.